Welcome to Midfield SportsCast and the 24th episode of the Divided Friendship Podcast. Today, it is me, Maddyx, it is Dawson, and it is Luke.
Yeah.
We are back for a day. We are filming 2 episodes here. We're going to film 23 and 24. 23 going to be about a lot to do with the end of the college football season and how things shook up for Michigan, Ohio State, and national championship and everything around the end of the season. But in this one, we will be doing our 2024 NFL mock drafts. We're going to go pick by pick and through the entire first round and discuss some of the stuff, some of the prospects, and take our picks. So, to start, I will go to a different tab here, and we will be making our pick. So, let me click this real quick with Billy's first pick because he's going for. Let's not have an ad going. Let's please not do that. Thank you. Turned it off. Okay. So this is going to be Billy's mock draft. He's entering the room now. Okay. You are now on the clock.
All right, we're going to be drafting. Here's what we're going to be doing. All three of us are going to do the first round mock draft, our mock draft 1.0 for the 2024 NFL draft. Obviously, we're a little late to mock draft season, but here we are. We'll just be going pick by pick. Each of us will do the first pick, then the second pick, and so on and so forth. So, for the first pick, I will have the Bears selecting Caleb Williams. I do think they will get rid of Justin Fields and move on from him. Caleb Williams, I think he just has a lot of talent that he needs to have somewhere where the system is built around him, and wherever he goes, obviously it will be. Some things with him, he's a very good prospect. It's just he needs to make his reads and not, just scramble out of the pocket immediately, as that's what he tended to do very often at USC. He just bailed out of the pocket and gave himself pressure that he did not have before he was in the pocket. And like I said with the reads, he just misses open people often because he's just trying to scramble and make an explosive play happen. And obviously, whenever you're in an NFL system, that's just not going to happen every single play.
All right, for me, first pick in the draft, I have the Chicago Bears selecting Caleb Williams. I think they trade Fields to Atlanta, and Williams, they're going to build around him now. I'm not saying that I think it's the right move, but I think it's the move they're going to make. And Luke, now it's your turn for your first overall pick.
For my first overall pick for the Bears, I have the Chicago Bears selecting Marvin Harrison Jr. I think it's the right move. I think it's the move they should make. Caleb Williams, he's a good quarterback, but I think if you can build enough talent around Justin, then he will produce. An explosive weapon like Marvin Harrison Jr. would help Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears offense. So I think the right move for Chicago is to keep Justin, get Marvin Harrison. And I think that's the move that they will make.
All right, now to Philly.
All right, for the second pick in the draft, we have the Washington Commanders up, and they will be bringing in a new head coach and a new offensive coordinator. The offensive coordinator, Cliff Kingsbury, we know where he's been before. He's been with very explosive mobile quarterbacks like Kyler Murray, and that is why I am led to believe that they will go with Jaden Daniels here at pick number 2, the Heisman winner. Very good offensive season last year for him. with the Tigers. I think he showed his upside and his talent, but obviously not very many NFL systems are like that. So he will have to learn how to play in an NFL system. I don't believe he will have any problem adjusting to that with Cliff Kingsbury as his offensive coordinator. And I'll pass it on to Maddyx.
All right, with my first pick, good lord, my brain hurts. With my second pick, I have the Commanders drafting, if I could get to him. Exactly what Billy said. I have them taking Jaden Daniels, LSU Heisman Trophy winner. And I have the same analysis that he has. So moving on to Luke for the second pick in the draft.
For my pick, the Washington Commanders, I think they will select Caleb Williams with Marvin Harrison Jr. going first. I think that if the Bears do take Marv first, I think that the Commanders would definitely take Caleb Williams. They do need a quarterback to build around because they do have some talent that they could build around in Washington, and I think Caleb Williams is the playmaker that they need to do that. He has the ability, obviously, as we saw from USC, he has the ability to make explosive plays and make plays. I think that it would be the right move to take Caleb if he is available. I think if the Bears take Marv, it's definitely Caleb Williams. If not, I would think they would take Drake May. But with Marv going first in my draft, I will have Caleb Williams falling to the Commanders.
All right, third, we have the Patriots, and I just think they're going to go best QB available, as I think the top three teams in the draft will just go best QB available. And in this situation, it is Drake May out of North Carolina. I do believe that he is a very solid quarterback and would be top tier in any other draft class. He would be probably the one or two. I'm going to have him as the three here in this one. He's a big quarterback, physical, aggressive, likes to make plays happen, and interesting. It'll be very interesting to see what he is able to do in New England with the weapons he has around him. See how he develops and kind of transforms into the NFL game.
For my third pick in the draft, I will have the Patriots selecting Drake May out of North Carolina. I just agree once again with Philly. Our drafts have been identical so far. All right, Luke.
With my third pick, I also have the Patriots selecting Drake May out of North Carolina. I think that Drake May, also a great player, just like Caleb Williams, but not as great. He can make plays. He can make explosive plays happen. He has the ability to run it. He can throw it. And with the weapons around him in New England, he can get this team back into the playoffs. Not within the first season. I'm not saying he'll get them there right immediately, but I'm saying he will eventually lead the Patriots back to a playoff appearance.
All right. With my fourth pick, Cardinals going best player available. They're going to go get Kyler Murray a weapon to throw to on the outside, as they really do not have a true number one. Well, they do have Marquise Brown, but he does need a good complementary wide receiver on the outside to him, and I'm pretty sure he's in the slot. So we'll go Marvin Harrison Jr. here. Gives Kyler Murray a playmaker, obviously one of the best wide receiver prospects we've seen in a very long time. And I think whatever team he goes to, he will be an immediate impact and will help any quarterback out. So that will be my pick for Arizona here. And we'll turn it over to Maddyx.
Once again, we agree. I'm going with Marv at 4. They take the weapon they need to add to Kyler Murray's roster, and they will look to make a run and build around Kyler Murray. Luke, your turn.
With Marvin Harrison Jr. being gone, I think the next best option for Arizona is a receiver, either Malik Neighbors or Roma Dunze. I think that the Cardinals will select Roma Dunze. Malik Neighbors also a really good wide receiver, but I think that Roma Dunze is a better choice. I feel like he's more of a better target for Kyler Murray, for a quarterback like Kyler Murray. I think that in a way, Michael Penix and Kyler Murray kind of similar. I mean, obviously Penix a little less scrambling, but I think that Roma Dunze paired with Kyler Murray would be a pretty good combination. I think it would work out well, and I think it'll get the Cardinals back in contention for the NFC West.
All right, with the 5th pick, I will have the Los Angeles Chargers and head coach Jim Harbaugh selecting Malik Neighbors out of LSU, giving them another wide receiver threat as they already have Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Josh Palmer. Actually, I'm not sure if he's a free agent or not. But they go and get Malik Neighbors. He's a very dynamic receiver, 6 foot, 200 pounds. He had a great season last year under LSU, and with the quarterback Heisman winner Jaden Daniels, almost 100 receptions for 1,600 yards and 14 touchdowns. Just a very good player, and I think in that LA offense, he will be a very good complementary threat to Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. And also, Mike Williams is injured right now. He had a season-ending injury last year, so he could potentially miss some time early on in the season, giving Malik Neighbors a bigger role. And obviously, also, they did take Quentin Johnston in the first round last year. He does not seem to be the player everyone thought he was, and that's why they go receiver here.
All right. For me, I'm going to check to see the audio is working. It is. Good. Okay. For my next pick in my mock draft, I will have the Chargers selecting Brock Bowers. I have them going with the tight end at 5, feeling a need on their offense. They need someone to catch the ball, and they also need a tight end, so why not get a tight end that can catch the ball and block? I think Bowers goes 5. Luke, your turn.
For my pick, I have the Chargers selecting offensive tackle Joe Alt. Jim Harbaugh, the head coach of the Chargers, he's been around a great offensive line at Michigan. I think he's going to try to build another good offensive line in LA and strengthen the line for Justin Herbert a little bit, make him more protected back there. Like I said, Jim Harbaugh coming from Michigan, knows a lot about having a good offensive line. So I think, like I said, I think he's going to try to build that in LA, as they will take Joe Alt from Notre Dame with the 5th pick. Brother.
All right. We're to the Giants here at pick number 6. And I think they either go a weapon on the outside or an offensive tackle. I do think they would take quarterback had they got higher up in the draft, but I just don't think there is a quarterback that is worthy of taking here at pick 6 that is still on the board. So with that being said, I am going to go with the Giants selecting Joe Alt out of Notre Dame, one pick after Luke. I think Evan Neal just he had a very good start to his career and then just kind of fell off. As we saw last year, he had a terrible season. I think they could move on from him, especially with all the drama that he causes around the team. And obviously pair that with bad performance, and that will get you out of a starting spot and potentially even off the team. So we will go with another young tackle to pair along with Andrew Thomas in Joe Alt here at pick 6.
With my 6th pick, I have the Giants. They do need a quarterback, but I don't think they go with one quite yet in this draft. I think first they get a receiver. I have them going Malik Neighbors at number 6. And boom, Malik Neighbors goes 6 to the Giants. Luke, who you got going 6?
All right, now here's my little shocking pick here.
Oh, gosh.
The Giants, I have them taking Brock Bowers. I think, despite Jaden Daniels still being available, I think the Giants are going to give Daniel Jones one last chance. If he doesn't get it done, then they'll take a QB in the 2025 draft. But I think that the Giants are going to give Danny Dimes one more chance, and they give him a weapon. Brock Bowers, a solid tight end, one of the best tight end prospects we've seen in a while. I think he'd be a good fit in New York, and I think that they will not take Jaden Daniels. I think they stick around with Daniel Jones for about a year more.
All right. Pick 7 here for the Titans. I'm going to have them taking Rome Odunze, getting a weapon on the outside for Will Levis, who it looks to be is who they're going to build around for the future. Get him an outside threat, someone who can play in the slot and the outside. You saw how he played at Washington last year, a very good receiver, came on this year. Not very high on many people's draft boards before this season, but the Washington team that went to the Natty, he was a big part of it as a receiver. And that's why I'm going to take him here for the Titans at 7.
All right, at 7, I think the Titans' need is wide receiver, and the Titans will go with a wide receiver. They will draft Roman. What? I'm kidding. A UFO receiver. They go Roman Dunze. Kidding. That was a joke. They go on Roman Dunze. They are. And that's my pick there. Same as Philly. Luke, your turn.
For the Titans, I think that Will Levis is the projected starter. I think that they will give him a weapon. I'm going to give them Malik Neighbors. Jaden Daniels still available, but having Will Levis after last year's draft, I think they're going to stick around with him for a few more seasons. I think that Will Levis is a solid player, and if Malik Neighbors and him would pair up pretty well.
All right, here for the Falcons at pick 8, I'm going to have them picking a need here, a little pass rusher. They're going to go take Dallas Turner out of Alabama. I really like what I see from him. He's just kind of a raw talent player, just an athletic freak, and you can throw him on the edge, and he will generate pressure on the quarterback, and that is what Atlanta needs here for this upcoming season. So I will have them taking Dallas Turner at pick 8.
I think before the draft, the Falcons would have already acquired Justin Fields, and they will look to have somebody protect him or somebody to catch passes for him. So I will go to wide receiver, where they will draft. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do, actually. Yeah. Actually, let's do a little. Go right here. He's not that high up. What am I doing? Okay. I think they go and get Jared Verse. I think they get the edge rusher from Florida State. Had an extra year to develop in college, and they take him over Dallas Turner. Your turn, Luke.
I think that the Atlanta Falcons will select a new quarterback, and with Jaden Daniels still being available, I think that is who they will pick. Jaden Daniels, the Heisman winner. I think that he will produce a lot of talent in Atlanta. Him and Bijan Robinson would be a good quarterback running back duo, a really young duo. I think that if maybe in free agency, if the Falcons can just get a few, maybe just even one more weapon, then this team is playoff contenders and have the potential to be a good team.
All right, Philly.
All right, for the Bears, not really sure what they're gonna do here at pick 9. Kind of in a weird situation, but I am gonna have them stay here with this pick, and they will select Olu Fashanu out of Penn State. They'll get someone to protect Caleb Williams, and he will play opposite of Darnell Wright for the Bears. I think he's also an athletic freak. He will be a good blindside protector for Caleb Williams and a good tackle to build on for the future.
With my number 9 pick, I have, wow, that was wild. I have the Bears going Joe Alt here, falls to 9, and the Bears scoop him up to add to their offensive line. Luke, your turn.
I have the Chicago Bears selecting edge Dallas Turner to add to this defensive line, try to stack up the Bears defense a little bit. And I think that the Bears are going to make a playoff run. I have the Bears going to the playoffs with Fields, Marvin Harrison, and now Dallas Turner. This will be a solid team and a huge contender.
All right. Well, for the Jets here at 10, I just don't think I can let him sit here any longer. Just such a great player, 2-time Mackey Award winner, Brock Bowers out of Georgia. Not really much that needs to be said. He is an athletic freak as well. I know I've said that a whole bunch, but he is at the tight end position. He can run the ball. He can pass the ball. Whoa. Maybe he can pass the ball. I didn't mean to say that. He can catch the ball, get yards after the catch, get catches over defenders. I mean, he's just an all-around tight end, someone that you want to have on your team, and that's another weapon that Aaron Rodgers will now have for his offense.
All right, next up in my draft. Ooh, the Jets. Interesting pick here. Not really 100% sure what they will do, but I'm going to check a few places here. I think the Jets will go Olu Fashanu here. Take the tackle to protect Aaron Rodgers because he's getting old, can't take the hits like he used to be able to, and can't get hurt on the third play of the season once again. That's my 10th pick, Olu Fashanu. Luke?
I agree with Maddyx. I think with the 10th pick, I think the Jets will select Olu Fashanu for the same reasoning. So,
all right, here at 11, this is interesting here. The Vikings could use many different things here. But ultimately, I think the Vikings will go with a cornerback, and I think they go with Quinyon Mitchell out of Toledo. I think he is the best cornerback in this draft. I like what I see on the tape for him, and he's just a lengthy corner, can really defend well in coverage, has good solid speed, and that's who I have Minnesota taking here. Help on the outside with Andrew Booth in the secondary.
Okay. Ooh, that was not bad. Now to me for my next pick. I will check if the audio is working. And it is. Okay. With my next pick, I have the Vikings going, wow, with, if I could please scroll down. Jackson Powers Johnson out of Oregon. to add to their offensive line. What? What'd I do? Luke, your turn.
With the next pick, I have the Minnesota Vikings. Here's an interesting thing. They can either stick with Kirk Cousins or they can go after a quarterback. I think that the Minnesota Vikings will stick with Kirk. I think they're going to draft a corner. I think they're going to get Terrion Arnold out of Alabama. Solid corner to put on this team. I think he's the best corner in this draft over Quinyon Mitchell. I think that he'll be good. He'll be good fit in Minnesota to build onto this defense.
All right. This pick here for the Broncos at 12. I'm going to go with a quarterback. It'll be J.J. McCarthy out of Michigan. I think he will fit in really well in Sean Payton's system. Just like Drew Brees, he didn't ask too much of his quarterback, but he does ask that you make the throws whenever they need you to. Sit back in the pocket and deliver a throw, and J.J. McCarthy did a lot of that at Michigan. Obviously, did not heavily rely on him for offense as they had dominant running backs in Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards, but I think he would fit in really well for the Broncos system as they move on from Russell Wilson, and that's why I have them taking J.J. McCarthy at 12.
We're going to skip to Luke here because I have to cook something up.
Okay. For me, that quarterback, I don't want to do this because I want J.J. McCarthy to fall to Seattle, my favorite team. But I think that Broncos, I think that they will take J.J. McCarthy. I think he's the best quarterback fit in Denver, as they will probably be getting rid of Russell Wilson. I think that J.J. McCarthy will be a solid runner. He can run the ball. He can throw the ball. He can catch a little too. In the Rose Bowl, we saw that he's an all-around player. He's an all-around athlete. So, just what the Broncos need, and a very athletic quarterback, and I think they will take J.J. McCarthy out of Michigan.
All right. So now to me, I think that the Broncos get a call from the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks trade up to the 12th overall pick. They will trade around a few picks to get to that spot, and they will take their quarterback of the future. The Seattle Seahawks select J.J. McCarthy, quarterback, Michigan, at number 12. All right, Philly, pick 13.
So all of us had J.J. McCarthy going pick 12, but as you heard, Maddyx had the Seahawks trading up to get him, and I do think he would fit in very well with Mike McDonald's system, as he has coached under the Harbaughs plenty of times, and obviously that's where J.J. McCarthy came from. Now, for the Raiders at pick 13, I'm going to say that they select Terrion Arnold here, the cornerback out of Alabama. Number one corner in many people's class, not mine. I have him at 2 here behind Quinyon Mitchell. I still think he is an exceptional cornerback, and I will have him here going to the Raiders.
All right. For me, and pick number 13, Raiders will go to... I can get to it. I will select Quinyon Mitchell from Toledo at pick 13. Luke, your turn.
For the Raiders, there's a bunch of good options here. I do think they will take a corner, but there's options like Quinyon Mitchell, Nate Wiggins, Cooper DeJean, Kool-Aid McKinstry. I think that the Las Vegas Raiders will, in the long run, end up going with Cooper DeJean out of Iowa. I think that he'd be the best fit in Las Vegas. I think that it'd be a solid fit there. He'd be a great player. he'd be a great franchise player here to keep. And I do have them selecting Cooper DeJean.
All right. With pick 14 for the Saints, I'm going to go with Jared Verse, the edge rusher out of Florida State. I think that is what the Saints need, a positional need here. They need someone to either fill in for Cam Jordan or play opposite of Cam Jordan. And, yeah.
Or to pick 15, go 2 picks at a time. Okay. At pick 15, we're going to start going 2 picks at a time. Go quick. Don't describe it as much. We're on crunch time. All right, pick 14. I have the Saints going and getting a tackle here. If I can get to it. Oh my goodness, dude. There we go. Tackle. I have them going J.C. Latham here at pick 14. Luke, your turn.
With the Saints, I think the best fit there in New Orleans is an edge rusher, and I will take Jared Verse out of Florida State. I think that's the best option that the Saints have at that point, and I think that's who they will take.
All right. Pick 15 for the Colts here. We will start going 2 picks at a time. I'm going to have the Colts taking Nate Wiggins, the corner out of Clemson. This is a strong positional need for the Colts, as obviously Isaiah Rodgers suspended for the season for illegal gambling and eventually led to him being cut from the team. So Kenny Moore needs someone to play opposite of him, or on the outside rather, as he plays in the slot and outside. And I'm going to have them taking Nate Wiggins. Now for the Seahawks, I will have them selecting edge rusher Leatu Latu out of UCLA. They need to generate some pressure on opposing quarterbacks. And obviously we know in the West that there are some good offensive tackles out there, and you need some good edge rushers to generate pressure.
With pick number 15, the Indianapolis Colts. They could take many things here, but I, once again, agree with Philly. I think they're going to take a corner, but I think here they go, Terrion Arnold out of Alabama, back-to-back Alabama picks for me. And now for the Broncos here, they will go to... That's way too high for him. I'm going to go... Sorry, I'm not used to this website. They're now going to go with Dallas Turner, finally coming off the board. 3 straight Bama players on my board go off the board. Luke, back-to-back picks for you.
For the Indianapolis Colts, I have the Colts taking Quinyon Mitchell. I think he's the second best corner in this class. I think that's the best option for Indianapolis. Now for my Seattle Seahawks, I think that they will take a quarterback. I think that despite whoever this quarterback is, I think he'll still have to put up there will still be a position battle with him and Geno Smith. But I do have the Seahawks taking Michael Penix Jr. with their 16th pick, and I do think eventually he will be the starter.
All right, pick 17 and 18 here. 17, we will have the Jaguars going with Kool-Aid McKinstry out of Alabama. Have him higher than Cooper DeJean on my board, as they need some outside corner help for Tyson Campbell. And for the Bengals at 18, I'm going to have them taking Taliese Fuaga out of Oregon State, the tackle. Protect Joe Burrow a little more in the pocket and give him assurance.
All right. Now for me, I think the Jaguars could also go many different ways in this pick here. I know for sure they don't need quarterback, running back, stuff like that. Their offense is very, very solid. So I think they go and get the best edge rusher on the board, and they get Latu at pick 17. I think that's a really good pick late in the draft. Now for the Bengals, I think last year they went with an interior defensive lineman. This year, I think they do the same thing, but this time they pick Jerzon Newton from Illinois. I have him as the highest interior defensive lineman on my board. He is very good at Illinois. Best defensive lineman in the Big Ten last season. Luke, on to you.
All right, for the Jacksonville Jaguars, I have them selecting Wyatt. How you say Latu?
Yeah.
Have them taking him out of UCLA, building up the defense a little bit more. The Bengals, I think that they will build up the offensive line and take J.C. Latham over how the freak you say that name?
Taliace Fuaga.
Taliace Fuaga. I think they will take J.C. Latham.
All right, for me, 19 for the Rams. I'm going to have them take J.C. Latham off the board. Not much explanation there that needs to be done. The Rams need a tackle. Latham, the best tackle left on the board, in my opinion. Pick 20 here for the Steelers. I'm also going to have them go tackle, and they will take Amarius Mims, the tackle out of Georgia. He will play alongside Broderick Jones on the opposite side of him, and he will be a good offensive lineman for Pittsburgh.
All right. For me, the Rams, I think they will go with a offensive lineman here. Actually, I'm going to go with them going DB. I think the Rams go DB. They pick up Kool-Aid McKinstry off the board at number 19. Luke? Nope, shoot, I got two straight.
Yeah.
My bad. And I think it is two straight DBs. They pick Nate Wiggins. So McKinstry and Wiggins go off the board back to back. Now on to Luke.
All right. For me, for the Rams, I think they will take an offensive lineman. I think they take Taliace Fuaga out of Oregon State. And then for the Steelers, I think that they will take a corner. I think that they select Nate Wiggins out of Clemson over Kool-Aid McKinstry.
All right, here for the Dolphins, I'm going to have them take the center out of Oregon, Jackson Powers Johnson. Beef up the line for Tua. And here for the Eagles, I will have them select Cooper DeJean, the corner out of Iowa. Best corner left available, and that is what the Eagles need, especially to replace James Bradbury.
All right,
We're going to skip over Maddyx here and go to Luke.
For the Miami Dolphins, I have the Dolphins selecting offensive lineman Amarius Mims out of Georgia. I think that that's the best option to build up the offensive line for Tua. And then for the Philadelphia Eagles, I think that they will take Kool-Aid McKinstry, the cornerback out of Alabama.
All right. Next for me, at pick number 21, right? The Dolphins will go with Zach Frazier here, the center out of West Virginia. High pick, but they take what they need. At next for the Philadelphia Eagles, I don't think they look at linebacker here, which is one of their key needs. I think they look at wide receiver, and they go with Troy Franklin out of Oregon. Now we will skip Luke here.
Luke already picked.
Oh, facts.
Here you get these.
We'll go to Philly.
All right. For me here, I'm going to have the Texans trading. They're going to trade this. Nah, we're not going to have that happen. That wouldn't happen in real life. we will have the Texans take Jerzon Newton, the D lineman out of Illinois, to plug the gap for them. And then this is where we will have the trade back happen. Cowboys will be trading to the Chiefs. I'm going to have the Chiefs trade up here. They will swap first rounders. Chiefs give up a third and a fifth also in this year's draft to move up 8 spots. And I'm going to have Kansas City select the top wide receiver off the board. I'm going to have them take Brian Thomas Jr. out of LSU. For Mahomes, get him another weapon. And Kadarius Toney will be replaced with Brian Thomas Jr.
All right, for me, next 2 picks here, pick 23. With the trade with Cleveland, the Texans have acquired this pick after they traded Deshaun Watson. And I believe they go and get another weapon for C.J. Stroud. They go and draft the highest receiver on the board and Brian Thomas Jr. to add to their offense. Now, the Cowboys on the board, they will go to the highest interior defensive lineman and draft Byron Murphy out of Texas. He stays in his home state, or in the same state. Now, Luke, your 2 picks.
All right, for my, what, just 23, 24?
It's, yes, 23 and 24.
Okay. For my pick for the Texans, I think with the 23rd pick, they will take the defensive lineman Jerzon Newton out of Illinois. And then for the Dallas Cowboys, I think that they will take a inner offensive lineman. I think that they will take Jackson Powers Johnson out of Oregon to build up the line for Prescott.
All right. For the Packers here at pick 26, we will go with Tyler Guyton out of Oklahoma, the tackle, as things with David Bakhtiari there are not going very well in Green Bay. Actually, he might have been released. I don't remember. Let's look. I'm pretty sure he is going to be released or traded by Green Bay. Not 100%, but I think he will be. Now for the Bucks, we are going to imagine that Mike Evans is going to walk in free agency, as they probably do not want to pay that old of a receiver that much money, as he still deserves a lot of money. So we will go with wide receiver Keon Coleman out of Florida State. Kind of similar build to Mike Evans there, and a similar player to him, just to go up and get it, jump ball type of player.
Okay, now with the Green Bay Packers up next. They could go many different ways with this pick, but I think Billy, who's the Packers tight end? Oh, they just drafted him. Facts. I think that the Packers go with Talise Fuaga here of Oregon State to add to their offensive line, and then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will go and take the first linebacker off the board. They take Peyton Wilson, the best linebacker in the draft class out of NC State. Now, Luke, your picks.
All right, for the Green Bay Packers, I think they're going to build around Jordan Love, and at the offensive line position, I think they're going to go Tyler Guyton out of Oklahoma. Guyton. Looks like Guyton. Guyton. And now for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Today Saturday?
Yeah.
For the Tampa Bay Buccaneers,
Why did that matter?
I don't know. I was just asking. I agree with Dawson here. I think that they're going to let Mike Evans run into free agency, and I think they will get a wide receiver. And that wide receiver, I think, will be Brian Thomas Jr. out of LSU.
All right. For Arizona at pick 27, I'm going to have them taking a tackle to play alongside Paris Johnson Jr., and they will take Troy Fautanu out of Washington. And now for the Bills, they may need another receiver here, and they will take one as we go with Troy Franklin out of Oregon for another weapon for Josh Allen.
All right. 2 picks that really are interesting here. Back to back. Cardinals with their second draft here. Their pick. They got this one from Houston. And they will look and add. I had them taking Marv already. So I think it will go to the D line here and take. Nah, that's way too high. They go O line. It's either O line or D line. I think they take the best. Oh my gosh, dude, there's nobody left. Well, I'm gonna have them going Cooper DeJean here. He goes off the board finally at pick 27 to the Arizona Cardinals. And now the Bills with an interesting spot. And I think they go tackle here with the Marius Mims. Another one of their needs they could use. And they use that to take a Marius Mims. Luke, your picks 29 and 30. No, 27 and 28.
I'm trying to make a trade over here.
Just don't do it. Just say you did it.
Oh, okay.
We don't have to do it on the website.
Okay. So I think that
Just
the
remember.
Raiders end up trading with the Cardinals and make a bit of a shocking pick here. And I think that they will take Jimmy Garoppolo getting old. I think
Yes, I said it.
I think that they're gonna.
I
I think that the
Cooper
Raiders
DeJean.
with this
Yeah, I
trade,
didn't know what
I think that they're gonna get a young quarterback to battle with Jimmy Garoppolo, and I think that they will take Bo Nix out of Oregon. The Raiders take Bo Nix in a trade with the Cardinals. Raiders trade picks with the Cardinals and draft Bo Nix, who will be in a position battle with Jimmy Garoppolo. And then for the Buffalo Bills, I think that the Bills will get a receiver, and I think that they will get Keon Coleman, and he could. And now that's 2 great targets for Josh Allen. And now, yeah.
All right. I'm also going to have a trade here. I'm going to have the Lions trading in the same conference but out of the division. They are going to make a trade here with the New York Giants, who are going to move up and try and get a player of need, a position of need, as they move up here, and they will select quarterback Michael Penix Jr. out of Washington. I don't think they're going to give I lied. They're going to pick Bo Nix. I did not mean to say Michael Penix. They picked Bo Nix out of Oregon rather than Michael Penix out of Washington, as they get Daniel Jones a little quarterback competition here, and an experienced veteran, Bo Nix. And for the Ravens now, we are going to take an D lineman, and it'll be Texas D lineman, Tavondre Sweat. Not Byron Murphy, Tavondre Sweat.
All right. Now, heading towards the end of the draft at pick number 29, the Lions could go, once again, many different ways. But I think they will go to I don't know, bro. This is too difficult. That's way too high. I don't know what they're going to take. It's a weird spot to be in. They're going to look at the top of their board. They see that they could take a corner. They're going to take Ennis Rakestraw Jr. out of Missouri. First time anybody has said he's going off the board here. Now the Ravens, also an interesting pick. I think they will go and get another weapon for Lamar. They pick Adonai Mitchell out of Texas. Now, Luke, your turn.
All right, I have a little bit of a trade here. I think the Kansas City Chiefs will trade with the Lions. I think they will trade Kadarius Toney next year's round 1 and next year's round 3 for this round 1 and another player. I don't know who.
You better remember these.
But the pick, now the Chiefs will still have their 32nd pick, but with this pick, they will take wide receiver Troy Franklin to replace Kadarius Toney. And then for the Ravens, I think that they're going to get a corner. I think that they're going to go with Ennis Rakestraw Jr. from Missouri.
All right, now I'm closing out my mock draft. I've got the 49ers and then the Cowboys with the last 2 picks. 49ers, I'm going to go with cornerback Ennis Rakestraw Jr. here at the back end of the first round for some help in the secondary. And for the Cowboys, with their final pick, I am going to go another corner, and they will take Kamari Lassiter out of Georgia.
All right, Philly's mock draft over. Now for me, pick number 31. I will have. What do I want to do? What do I want to do here? I will have. Oh, that was weird. The Seattle Seahawks with another trade up to pick 31. Now the Seahawks will draft Keon Coleman to add to the receiver room of DK Metcalf and Jackson Smith and Jigba, a young wave of receivers. They trade up with the 49ers. Now the Chiefs on the clock here. Super Bowl winners. Obviously, they don't have much need, but they do have some. They will take Adisa Isaac out of Penn State to close out my mock draft. And now Luke will finish his. Ooh, it made me a little
All
edit.
right.
What do I do here?
Now for the San Francisco 49ers, I think that they will take an offensive lineman. I think they'll take Graham Barton out of Duke. And I'm just going to go really quickly here. And then the Chiefs take a wide receiver. I think they would take Adonai Mitchell.
All right. Well, that concludes our mock drafts and the steal of the first round of the whole draft.
Who you
Okay.
think is going to be the steal of the draft? Because I got one in my brain.
I know who you're going to say.
Yeah.
I already know who you're going to say.
You want
Don't.
to go first?
Sure.
All right. My steal of the draft out of the safety position. I absolutely hate Javon Bullard. It's not that guy. Freaking hate that guy. It's Kalen Bullock out of USC. He's a safety, but I think honestly he beefs up a little bit. He could be a little hybrid linebacker. He's got crazy long arms. He's crazy athletic. Can stretch the field. I got Kalen Bullock as steal of the draft. Billy?
Luke, do you have one in mind right now?
No, not really.
All right. My steal of the draft is Michigan wide receiver Roman Wilson. He's a very fast twitch, speedy receiver, and he could be a very good slot receiver for any team he goes to.
Oh wait, no, I got one. Steal of the draft for me, I think, is linebacker Junior Colson. I think that he's a solid player. I think that he's a strong athletic player. He'd be a good fit for a lot of teams in the league, and he is very built for the NFL.
All right. That'll conclude our first round mock drafts, and you may have another mock draft from us next week, potentially. And that'll close out episode 24 of the Divided Friendship Podcast, and we will see you on the next one.
Adios.